living in an area like this in the White Mountains gives you the ability to see forest in a new way. Whether you're walking through that forest or hiking a mountain or just looking at it on the outside, there's just some beauty, some amazing things that just really capture your attention that we can delight in. And these forests, we'll see as seasons come and seasons go, these forests have trees that sustain, that stay strong, that are able to survive the elements and other trees that are not. We see trees that develop. My wife and I and our kids, when we first moved here, we planted a tree and we've watched it. Some seasons we thought, man, it's really going to die. It's not going to make it. There's no way that this tree is going to hold on. And then other seasons we've seen as the tree that we thought was going to die is actually increasing in life and is finding the nourishment it needs from the earth to fight whatever elements comes its way or whatever the case may be. But we notice, that some trees specifically are really brittle. Branches fall off. It may not completely die within the season, but we watch as its lack of health can cause very dangerous things to happen to it that can end its life. And we've heard this, said a lot of times, but our root system, the root system that we have, determines. The root system that we have determines our health, determines our stability, determines our ability to withstand certain things, whether those things are like the wind or the heaviness of snow and ice or other elements. Like, it'll determine whether or not we are able to overcome, what's going on around us. Like, our root system, their root system deals with that kind of stuff. Our root system will determine what we're able to do when emotional trauma comes, or when physical pain comes, or when spiritual troubles arrive. Now, I understand we can have the most secure and strong of root systems. We can be able to handle just about anything. And there are things that come along, man, that ravage us, that affect us in such a huge way that, it's beyond just like a difficult situation. I mean, it's a death of a loved one. It's a serious issue, and it questions the integrity. And some of us, even the most strong root systems, we can fall and be broken down when hard things happen. But even in that, there are still life. There's still life, even if it's underneath the earth. And I've seen trees that have come down, but then, you think it's dead, but the root system that was underneath that tree still was able to bud and grow in a way that is just like impressive, because you thought the tree was gone. What's your root system? John 5:2 talks to us about being connected to Christ, talks about being connected to Him and how that affects us. When we begin to wither, when we begin to die, our branches die off, or as the Bible there tells us, He prunes us and breaks away the things that are not giving life, so that we become stronger, and so that life is developed in us, and so that healthy things come out of us. Like, what are you connected to? I tell you right now, like, if you develop root systems in bitterness or anger or hatred or gossip, if you develop root systems in lust or greed, if you develop root systems in unhealthy habits of any kind, you will find over and over and over again that those unhealthy root systems cannot sustain the pressures that come our way. But if you develop root systems that are, that are prayer lives, if you develop root systems that are connected to Christ, if you develop root systems where you read the Bible, if you develop root systems that are connected to the church, that are connected to people of like faith, Christians who can be there for you, that are your family, that can hold you up in the most difficult, trying of circumstances. When you develop root systems in people like that, or in faith like that, man, things can come. And you may falter back and forth. You may have some failures. You may lose some, things out of your life because they're frail. But you'll be able to withstand pressure. You'll be able to withstand challenge. You'll be able to withstand difficulty. You'll be able to withstand the things that come your way that you just didn't think it was possible to withstand them. Now, I want you to pray today and ask God, like, Jesus, help me find out where I'm not connected to you. Jesus, help me find out where my root system isn't strong. Jesus, help me find out what areas of my life are not healthy and growing deep. What areas of my life have the ability to cause serious issue when tough times come? Like, what are you connected to? Are you connected to Jesus? Are you connected to the Lord? Are you connected to His Spirit? Are you connected to those of like faith? Or are you connected to things that are going to fail? Are you connected to things that won't sustain the heaviness of the world? Guys, I pray that this hits you in a good way and that you feel connected to the truth and that you can begin to seek the necessary change. The necessary change so that when pressure and heaviness come, you don't break. Hey guys, I love you. Jesus loves you more.